This is the most authentic wilderness construction. In the icy wilderness of Freljord, a man relies on his hands to withstand the extreme cold, choosing a shelter beneath a giant rock. Not only does he build a large fireplace indoors to cope with the harsh outdoor weather, but he can also roast juicy meat on it, turning hard survival into a comfortable life. Mundo, a doctor, tired of the monotonous city life, takes his dog and plunges into the vast wilderness. After exploring, he finally stops in front of a pile of giant rocks and discovers that these stones, weathered by time, have spacious interiors. So he decides to settle here, first moving a few stones from the surroundings to block the gaps at the top with rocks, preventing rain and snow from seeping in. During this time, he also needs to leave a spot for the smoke outlet. Once the stones are stacked, he spreads some moist soil on the surface to ensure the entire top is sealed with rocks. Next, Mundo wanders nearby, collecting many dry branches. He first lights a small campfire to test the effectiveness of the previously reserved smokeout. Once he confirms that the smoke is venting properly, he goes to gather more branches, neatly stacking them on the side of the shelter to gradually build the framework of the walls. Finally, he adds some soil to fill the gaps in the rocks to prevent the cold wind from entering the house. After the wall is built, Mundo moves some stones from nearby, returns to the house, and starts to build the fireplace. Considering the smoke issue during burning, he carefully fills the gaps with soil as he stacks each layer of stones to avoid smoke leakage. The stones themselves have good thermal conductivity, allowing the heat generated during burning to quickly spread indoors, raising the temperature. He first evenly spreads a layer of branches on the roof, then unfolds a rainproof cloth over the branches. After that, he uses stones to weigh it down around the edges to ensure it won't be blown away by the wind. The next day, the outside of the shelter is already filled with wind and snow, and a thick layer of snow has accumulated on the ground. Fortunately, the fireplace continues to provide warmth, and Mundo remains comfortable inside. The first thing he does after getting up is to brave the wind and snow to search for dry firewood nearby. He quickly discovers a decayed tree stump, which is great material for heating. He struggles to carry the stump back to the shelter and piles it up for later use. After that, Mundo stays busy and goes to chop a few tree branches, stripping off the bark to make simple skewers for threading the cut meat. He first gently pulls out the hot coals from the bottom of the fireplace, then places the skewered meat above the hot coals. He also roasts a chili pepper and a tomato as side dishes. A cup of steaming tea, along with a wrap filled with roasted meat, is his lunch for the day. Of course, his dog, Blackie, also has a special atmosphere. After all, at night, he still needs his help to guard the island. After eating and drinking enough, the sky gradually darkens. Mundo returns to the shelter, lies down next to his dog, and listens to the crackling sound of the burning firewood in the fireplace, gradually falling into a dream. The next day, the flames in the fireplace have long extinguished, leaving only a bit of warmth from the remaining embers.
Mondo adds the last bit of firewood to the fireplace, then steps out of the shelter to dismantle the roof's defenses.
After simply organizing the lineup, he sets off again to start a new journey.